Next week in Coronation Street, Summer Spellman stuns everyone when she begins considering a guilty plea over Theo Silverton's death. With such a decision likely leading to time behind bars, could her future on the cobbles be hanging in the balance? Recent episodes revealed a dramatic flashback from George Shuttleworth's point of view, exposing that Summer had not been truthful about where she was on the night Theo died. Although George first attempted to shield her from suspicion, he eventually came clean to detectives, resulting in Summer's unexpected arrest. In scenes airing on Monday the 1st of June, the situation grows even more desperate for Summer as she decides to take control of her own fate. The episode opens with a small breakthrough for Todd Grimshaw after DS Lisa Connor-Swain confirms that another person is now under scrutiny. Theo's former wife Danielle has reportedly been questioned by police and may be keeping vital information hidden. Later, Todd finally gets the chance to see Summer, but the meeting leaves him heartbroken when she admits she is seriously thinking about pleading guilty because she feels trapped with no other way out. Todd later shares the devastating update with Sarah Platt, and together they desperately search for a solution. But have they already run out of time? It still feels hard to believe that Summer could actually be responsible for murder, especially after the recent flashback appeared to support her version of events, our Corey insider explains. Even so, Summer is beginning to think practically about what lies ahead in court. Accepting responsibility might reduce the severity of any punishment, but Todd refuses to even consider that possibility. The big question is whether Todd can persuade Summer to change her mind before it's too late. Coronation Street is set to take Jody Ramsey's storyline in a surprising new direction, as the manipulative troublemaker appears to cross a line before showing an unexpected softer side in the latest ITVX episode. After previously trying to destroy David and Shona's relationship, Jody has now focused her attention on Daniel Osborne, who is already struggling following the revelation that his former partner Megan Walsh groomed teenager Will Driscoll. Daniel has been falling apart under the pressure as more people begin questioning how much he knew about Megan's behavior. Matters have only become worse thanks to an online troll using the name Truth Teller, who has relentlessly targeted him with cruel abuse. What Daniel still doesn't realize is that Jody herself is secretly operating the account despite pretending to support him throughout his ordeal. In today's episode, Daniel opens up to his father Ken and admits the online attacks are now having an impact on Bertie as well. Furious over the situation, he promises to uncover the identity of the troll and confront them directly. Ironically, Jody is among the very last people he would ever suspect. However, Daniel's doubts begin to grow later when he unexpectedly catches Jody hurriedly putting away her phone while looking visibly uncomfortable. Although she tries to brush the moment aside, Daniel repeatedly questions her and demands to know what she was hiding. Thinking quickly, Jody manages to distract him by showing footage of Megan being humiliated in town after someone throws a milkshake over her. Daniel is completely taken in by the act and even thanks Jody for showing concern. As the conversation continues, Daniel becomes emotional while admitting how deeply the harassment has affected both him and Bertie. He blames himself for becoming involved with Megan and confesses that the entire situation has left him feeling overwhelmed and ashamed. Hearing Daniel speak so honestly appears to strike a nerve with Jody. When he points out that a young child is also suffering because of the online abuse, she seems visibly shaken and possibly guilty for the first time. The scenes mark a notable shift for Jody, who until now has shown little remorse for the chaos she has caused. Could this be the beginning of a redemption story? And might she finally confess the truth to Daniel? Coronation Street is lining up a devastating week for Daniel Osborne, as two shocking events threaten to completely destroy his life. Daniel faces every parent's greatest fear when he wakes to discover that his young son Bertie has vanished without a trace. As the fallout continues, tensions later explode at number 1, where Daniel accidentally lashes out and injures his father, Ken Barlow, during a heated family confrontation. The dramatic chain of events could have life-changing consequences for everyone involved. The chaos begins after Daniel drinks heavily alone at his flat and eventually passes out, leaving Bertie unattended. The next morning, a hungover and terrified Daniel rushes into the street desperately searching for his missing son. But where has Bertie gone? And is the youngster in danger? Trouble had already been building before Bertie disappeared. Daniel feels anxious ahead of returning to work, fully aware that cruel social media rumors about him have spread across Weatherfield. Trying to lift his father's spirits, Bertie gives Daniel a thoughtful best teacher mug as a good luck present. Sadly, the touching moment is quickly ruined when Lily Platt accidentally bumps into Daniel in the corridor, causing the mug to smash onto the floor. Distraught by everything happening around him, Daniel heads to the Rovers to drink away his problems, with Adam Barlow stepping in when things begin getting out of control. Later, while storming through the precinct in a foul mood, Daniel unexpectedly comes face to face with Megan Walsh. Could his anger push him towards a dangerous confrontation with his troubled ex? If Daniel thinks matters cannot get any worse, he soon discovers otherwise. Back at home while reading new messages posted online by Truth Teller 2, Jody Ramsey slips up and accidentally reveals information that exposes her as the anonymous troll tormenting him. Although Jody desperately denies any involvement, Daniel is convinced he has uncovered the truth. Devastated, he returns to the pub for more alcohol before stumbling back to the flat. Once home, Bertie innocently asks his father for dinner, but Daniel is too intoxicated to respond and soon passes out again. Left alone, Bertie attempts to prepare food for himself, leading to disastrous consequences before the vulnerable child eventually wanders out into the street by himself. Panic sets in the following morning when Daniel receives a call from Bertie's school asking why he has not arrived for classes. Terrified, Daniel races over to the Barlow house in search of his son, only to be confronted by furious relatives who are deeply worried about his behavior as a parent. They all surround him and challenge his actions at number 1, explains actor Rob Mallard. Daniel feels completely cornered in that moment. He tries to lash out at Adam, but ends up hitting Ken instead. Somehow it always seems to be Ken who gets hurt. But the biggest mystery still remains. Where is Bertie? And with social services now becoming involved, could Daniel soon face even more devastating consequences? Coronation Street has released a first glimpse at the latest twist involving Will Driscoll and Megan Walsh as the teenager uncovers a troubling surprise connected to his former athletics coach. The hard-hitting storyline has followed Will after he was groomed by Megan over a long period of time, eventually leading to her arrest. Although she was later released on bail after being charged, Megan's disturbing behavior is far from over. In scenes airing next week, Megan secretly begins watching Will from a distance while he struggles to rebuild his life following the traumatic ordeal. The soap has now teased a worrying moment from Tuesday's episode in a newly released preview clip. During the scene, Will meets up with Hope Dobbs, with the pair having recently formed a close friendship. Sitting together inside Roy's Rolls, Hope reveals that she spotted him with Megan the previous evening. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.